Huan, what do you think of Black Canary versus Sindel? Ah yes, it is only Nemesis Bloodright who could be stupid enough to turn on the recording software and forget to put the script up. I have thoughts on Miles vs. Static, but that's for after this prediction. That's what I'm doing now on. So, Sindel vs. Black Canary. Sindel versus Black Canary. First off, I don't really care for this battle. It feels like either Death Battle are trying to give DC a loss so that later, a more controversial battle that, I wouldn't be shocked included Beerus, wouldn't make people say they're biased towards DC, because they can just go, oh, DC lost here. And honestly, if Sindel won, I don't think there'd be too big a backlash. I mean, who really cares in this case? Or this is an attempt to cash in on the now honestly pretty dead controversy over Sindel's new characterization in Mortal Kombat 11 that nobody unrelated to snakes that are between 3 and 5 cares about anymore. But alright, who do I think would win? I mean, I think that logically Black Canary's scream is so insanely strong it should just obliterate Sindel, but that's only through scaling. Like that time Canary broke Giganta's finger and beat her with a scream. If you think that's an outlier, it is, but this is also Death Battle. And Giganta has traded blows with Wonder Woman before. Does this mean Black Canary is as strong as Wonder Woman? No. There was probably something going on in that comic issue that made one of them stronger or weaker, but still, Canary has beaten some heavy hitters in the past. Has Sindel? Well, Mortal Kombat 11 Sindel hasn't done anything in canon. Revenant Sindel isn't worth talking about because she's already dead. The Soul Lamp Sindel did all this, but that isn't viable as she was directly amped up at the time. Death Battle would have to be really dumb to not know that she was amped in that point and that that's not indicative of how strong she is normally, because it's directly shown she's being amped. And base Sindel didn't do anything, really. And in the original timeline, I don't think she has ever had a single canonical fight. She might have, don't quote me on this, but I don't recall any fight in the canonical games. There might have been something in the comics. I don't think Sindel has many feats in lore, so you'd mostly have to rely on gameplay, so pretty much just her special moves for fatalities and test your might, which there's at least a 60% chance they'll use in the analysis. I know they've used it in a lot of their Mortal Kombat fights, and by a lot I mean 2 to my memory, but I know they use that, but I don't think it'll be any higher than a 60% chance, because they did acknowledge in Miles vs. Static that the 2 calcs they did for both the characters weren't canon. And they did back it up by saying that these feats are possible, this is just a lowball more or less, and they didn't use the stats much in the conclusion, so they mostly just did those calculations to make the analysis a bit more entertaining. Well, and I didn't mind that, honestly. I think that Amp Sindel might have a chance against Canary, don't know about Revenant Sindel. Anyway, Sindel's best feats would be killing people with her screams, while Canary's would be destroying cars with her screams. Canary's skills are, I'd say at the very best around Katana's level, which is cool and all, but Canary has trained with Shiva, oh no, for fuck, that one, as well as Wildcat, and is skilled enough that Huntress recognizes superiority, and Oracle even thinks she stands a chance against Batman. Do I think she could take Batman? Not in the fist fight, but she's not weak. I really would love to see Death Battle try and spin a win for Sindel, without using Soul Lamp Sindel. I mean, how could they? Well, I'd say it's possible. They could scale it to the big feats that apparently exist in Mortal Kombat 11 that I don't remember from the story because it wasn't very good. Even though Sindel never fought or came close to fighting Power of Love, Johnny, and Cassie, also those powers only work against Elder Gods, I'd say if they gave Sindel the win, it'd be because her hair powers offer more versatility, her Soul Lamp helped her take out all these people at once, while assuming Johnny here is equally as strong as Johnny in Mortal Kombat X, ignoring Canary's Giganta feat, and assuming Sindel is as skilled as these characters who we'll also assume are more skilled than comparable fighters to Canary, like Shiva. I don't know how else one could give Sindel a win. Not because I think Sindel gets totally stomped, but because I don't know of any feats from Sindel that are above Canary's truck-busting scream, Giganta finger snap, and training with Shiva. Maybe she can scale to that level in canon, or maybe she has some super awesome calculation I don't know about that is out of canon that they'll use, or maybe even a calc that's in canon that I don't know about. It is possible, but I don't know. Now let's talk about Miles vs. Static. It was good. I like the custom sprites and the Spider-Verse references, but I don't like how Wiz and Boomstick look now. Also, wouldn't it be cool if God of Destruction Beerus fought God of Destruction Alexander from Markai Kingdom? Oh, it's better than frickin' Arceus. I mean, the only connections there are that they're animalistic in design and they are deities. At least Alexander and Beerus are both gods of destruction who successfully beat down and sealed a guy in an item. At least I think Alexander was the reason Zeta was in the book. I don't really know. I think he is. If he's not, meh, but at least both of these guys are gods of destruction as opposed to just gods. God of Destruction is more specific than just they are gods who are animals. I mean, by that logic, you could do Arceus versus Megalon, and Beerus versus Aslan. Seriously, I don't get why people like this fight. There's so little in common in relation to their powers and concepts. Seriously, you can't even say they're directly opposites of each other. Yeah, Arceus creates and Beerus destroys, but both of them do so because it's pretty much their jobs. And also, that's not very smart a comparison, because by that logic, you could do Minecraft Steve versus Zeno. It's dumb. Stop it. Please! But if they do Beerus versus Arceus, just know I'm not saying that it's impossible that they will. I'm just saying it'd be stupid. And all your fault.